Hey, what's up guys, it's MugenLord here, and today we're going to talk about, yes, Lollipop Chainsaw Remake. We discussed it before when we had just a little bit of information and details about this potential remake and how they will approach it. Well, yes, there's some more information regarding Lollipop Chainsaw Remake, and it appears that the developers, here's everybody's concern about censorship, and the developer claims to feel the same way that you guys feel about censorship, and they'll do everything in their power to not allow that to get in the way of their development, because they love Lollipop Chainsaw and Juliet themselves, and they put a lot of passion and hard work into her designs. So we're going to go into the details and their thoughts about censorship. Before we dive into it, make sure you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell for more gaming content here on this channel. So we're going to dive right into it. So it appears that on Bounty in the Comics, it says Lollipop Chainsaw Repop producer assures fans that the original devs have the same feelings about censorship as you do. And this is something that I really want to talk about too, as well. We already seen what happened, and I know a lot of you guys have been burnt, have been upset. We talked about it with Stellar Blade and the whole censorship aspect of it, where we have Shift Up explained that, hey, the game is going to be uncensored in all countries, and then once the game come out, we found out from the patch and everything like that, they switched up a lot of Eve's costumes in a way by adding some undergarments and layers underneath her and some of the outfits, and Japan got a completely different version as well. So we really can't take their word for it until we actually see the game for what it is when it actually comes out day one. So we're going to continue, and once again seeking to ease the fears of regarding the remake commitment to honor its source material, Lollipop Chainsaw Repop producer and CEO of its developer Dragami Games, Yoshimi Yasuda, has assured fans that the development team behind the original release of the cult classic hack and slash title have absolutely zero interest in seeing their work subjected to censorship. And like I said before, we still have to be careful about this, because we still don't understand the politics that goes on behind closed doors, especially when you're getting involved with releasing the game on especially Sony platforms and everything. And we already know what Microsoft has also said about, you know, discouraging developers for creating attractive female characters to begin with as well. So we want to just wait and see, but it sounds promising. I'm just saying that lower your expectations until you actually see for yourself. So it says Yasuda, who also served as producer of the original Lollipop Chainsaw, provided this insight into the eternal debate surrounding Repop's development on May 7th via a post made to this personal Discord Twitter account. Therein, the succinctly informed the public in both Japanese and English, "We, the original staff," I quote, "have the same feeling about censorship as you do." That's what it says in the tweet. At current, it is unknown just how many of Lollipop Chainsaw's original production team, if any, have returned alongside Yasuda to produce Repop, though it is known that at the very least, director Suda51 and writer James Gunn, James Gunn, wow. See, the thing is, I never played Lollipop Chainsaw. I know about Lollipop Chainsaw because everybody around me, including my friends, have the game. I watch them play the game. These are not my kind of games, but I understand the cultural significance, because when this game came out, it was advertisements everywhere. Who didn't know Juliet? She became so popular. She was also popular with Source Filmmaker, and you know that community with the hentai and stuff. So she was everywhere. So the thing is, I know of her, I know about her, and I know some of the game and everything, but I had no idea that James Gunn was one of the writers or whatever. So however, regardless of whether the original devs are taking a stance against censorship from either an internal or external position, the fact that they are so willing to and confident to speak up at all, even if it's via collective statement and issued by Yasuda, bodes well for the survival of Suda51 and Gunn's original artistic vision. So he's pretty much saying for the survival, because the thing is, a lot of people turn their backs, and a lot of gamers, once they feel like they burnt, they turn their backs on the game studios and everything. And I guess Suda51 can't afford that. And for them to actually remake this, they're actually gambling if they pretty much try to censor in a way, because then their fans going to turn back on them. And what fan, and Suda is a niche anyway. Suda Studio, Suda51, very niche, has a small core fan base, and that's what they should be catering to to begin with. Cater to them. And if people that's outside of the base, outside of the audience, take interest in it, then let them come in and take interest. But they have no right to dictate how they should produce their game and how they should portray Juliet as a character herself. So it says, as noted above, this is not the first time Yasuda has affirmed that Repop's intent to release uncensored. Speaking to the subject during an October 23 interview with Otomon's Yamanaka, the producer confirmed. Now, regarding the scenario and script of Repop, we decided to use the original Lollipop Chainsaw scenario and script without any changes. So they actually using the original script without any changes at all, which means they just grabbing, dropping in there. Of course, they're going to have to, you know, tweak in order to fit, you know, the standard, not the standards, but, you know, as far as visuals and everything else. But as far as the script is concerned, they're going to just keep it and maintain it true to the source. And I think they probably didn't want to have to go through getting James Gunn and everything like that if they had to do a full-on, like, a remake that's different from the original game, how we be seeing with Final Fantasy VII Remake Trilogy. Then you have to go get James Gunn, you have to go through all that. I know he costs a lot of money in order to get him back on board, so just use the original script, stick to the source material, and then bam, good to go. Press for details on the request of fans he had received. You see the detail. When we announced Repop for the first time in last July of last year or whatever, we had the word used the word remake without any specific explanation, which caused some anxiety among fans of the original game. Yes, it really does. And in the following period, we received thousands of inquiries via email and social media from fans containing questions and requests about the project, and among them, please don't change the game scenario and worldview, and please make it uncensored. Were among the most requested. From there, we had made a decision not to make changes to the script, taking into account both the wishes of the user and the internal reviews. So the thing is, they were probably going to have plans to do some changes, but also it looks like that after they got the emails from fans, and then it says from the international reviews as well, they looked at all that and said, you know what, let's not bother it, let's just keep it the way it is. And I think that's the thing, that's why they keep it in place, because they got a warning from the fans. This is a warning, and I don't know why. And when they make announcements like this, I think it's also smart they put it out there preemptively so they can gauge the audience and see how to respond, how they would respond to it and everything, and that will let them know. So getting all that emails from the international side and from the fans themselves, you know, from where they're from, it makes sense. Like, yo, they are telling us not to do any changes. So if we make any crazy changes, we already gonna fuck up the sales. We're gonna fuck it up before the game even have a chance. So it's smart that they go about this. But the thing is, I really want to talk about remakes in general. I don't think remakes is a bad thing. I really don't. In fact, I really would like to see more remakes if they are done right and handled with respect. Because you gotta understand, a lot of these games, you know, are really, really old, and a lot of them is on old hardware. Yes, you can remaster those games or whatever like that, so you can be able to play it on current gen technology and stuff like that. But I wouldn't mind a remake where they just take the visuals, spice the visuals up to meet the standards of today, while maintaining the essence. Don't change anything. I would replay it. I don't mind that. And if they do have the opportunity to go in and add to what's there, so it can still feel like a brand new experience for the returning players, while at the same time, this is already going to be a new experience for new players, I think it's a win-win situation for everybody. And I don't know why a lot of developers don't adopt that philosophy when it comes to remaking a particular, you know, series. I always will say this till I die. When it comes to Resident Evil 1 Remake, that is a perfect example of what a remake and how you should handle it. It takes all the core things of the PS1 version, and then it brings it to modern technology while adding in new elements to it. It doesn't break the formula. It doesn't break the narrative of the original. It is the definitive way to play it. Now I'm getting a little sketchy because there's rumors going around that Capcom is going to remake the remake. So I don't know how I feel about that. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to remakes should be the definitive way to experience the game. Meaning you include all its DLC that it had in the past, while adding in some new touches and maybe even fine-tune some of the mechanics and stuff like that, while maintaining the purity of what the original had to offer, and you would not lose. It's easy money. It's less work on the developers because they don't have to work on anything crazy new. It's just familiar territory, just beefed up with some new additions sprinkled in there. That's the easiest way you can make money. And I would love to see more remakes brought up to modern times if they respect the material, respect the audience. In order for you to remake it to begin with, you have to build off of the base that got that franchise or that series popular and famous to begin with. Respect them. Respect them. That's all I'm saying. But that pretty much wraps this up. What are your thoughts on this in general when it comes to Lollipop Chainsaw Repop, and what the producer Yasuda is saying about keeping the integrity intact? Do you think that they had plans on changing it now that we're reading this article, or do you think this is just another smokescreen of something much more underlying underneath after what we saw what Shift Up has done when it comes to Stellar Blade? So I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe button for more gaming content here on this channel. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.